Hey, Jim Parr here, and we're going to go through how to rank and rent websites. You've heard about this in the past, but this is really taken off because of the Google profiles not available for businesses for a free website. We're going to go through everything step by step and go through how to rank them, how to build them, and what software you need to do this. And this is a very profitable business for 2024. So let's go into this. We have two parts to this video. You're going to learn about building them initially, renting them, how you sell them, and at the tail end of the video, you're going to learn details about ranking them. So let's go and have fun with this. Now with Google profiles, it used to be that Google would allow you to create a free website or what they just call a landing page, and it would look like the person had a website, but they're doing away with that. They're not providing free websites anymore. So this is an opportunity for you to dive in quickly, make a lot of money with this model, and it's going to be a sustainable model because it's not only an inexpensive entry to get into this, but it's a way to help businesses that are suffering from not having a website and being beat out by the competition to be able to help them out and give them a real solution that works. And so we're going to go through how to charge for these sites, how to find these clients very quickly and easily. I've been in this industry for a number of years. We're going to be using a software called HighLevel. I've been with HighLevel since the day it was created in 2018. And so we use this software every day. We believe in this software. It's really an inexpensive software to run a business or an agency like we're going to be helping you with. And so let's just dive in and get this thing going. But before we get going, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification to get the other videos. Not only that, if you only get through this video, because it's going to be a long video, it'll pop up so that you can play different parts of it. And I've got lots of videos on HighLevel that are very relevant. So first we're going to talk, let's just do an overview of what we're going to hit on bullet points. We're going to hit on types of websites. There's WordPress, there's Wix, there's Squarespace, there's HighLevel, and we're going to talk about those different models and how they work, because I know a lot about these different sites because we've built all of them. We're going to talk about picking an industry or a niche. So what that covers is whether it's a service industry like an HVAC company, it could be just about anything. So we're going to talk about research competitor sites and the layouts of those sites. We're going to talk about the CTAs, the call to actions. That's how you get leads coming in and where to place those. So that's capturing a name and a phone number, or a name and a phone number and email. We're going to talk about the best place to purchase domains, and it's not GoDaddy. A lot of people say GoDaddy, but GoDaddy's been around for years. They are a reseller of Wild West domains. So GoDaddy was just created as an affiliate, a big affiliate, obviously. And so we're going to talk about the best place, the inexpensive place where you don't have to pay for all the bells and whistles they're trying to throw in your face all the time. And we're going to show you how to develop these sites step by step. We're going to show you how to create these client accounts so that you can sell them. Some people call them sub accounts, but let's stay away from the technical words and terminology. A lot of people are trying to sell HighLevel with all this sub account stuff and different things like that, but that's not where you need to focus on. Let's keep it simple, because if you're trying to show a client high level and you can do this and this and this, they're going to get overwhelmed, guaranteed. So develop a site for them, do a done for you product, and then sell it and rent it to them monthly. We're going to talk about cloning these websites easily. So if you make a roofing website, we're going to show you how to clone that and quickly clone it and then create in a new area, create that SEO, create that ranking for them so that you can sell a ranked website. What's a website if it's not on the first page? It's no good. We're going to talk about setting up a chat widget so they can real-time chat with you or the client. We're going to talk about how to set up custom phone numbers, how to find new clients quickly. We're going to show you how we do it and how to charge for these sites and sell it so it's on a reoccurring set and forget type of deal. So it just recurs payments. You're not chasing payments every month. So let's dive into HighLevel. I'm going to show you a little bit about HighLevel, what it's about, and then we're going to dive into building it and going through all these steps that we just talked about. So HighLevel started in 2018, as I mentioned. These are some quick videos that we've done with Sean Clark. He's one of the co-founders of HighLevel. And you can see this is 2021, 2022. And so we've been working with them way back. And initially it was called GoHighlevel. And so if you hear that terminology, GoHighlevel, they still call it that if you go to some of these landing pages. But that's how it started. And now they're converting to just the word high level. So it's been around. It's generated over 12 billion conversations, and more importantly, almost 2 billion leads, and 40,000 agencies are using it, 1.2 million businesses. So HighLevel is literally everything you need to run your business, to run an agency, to operate a service business and keep it automated. That's the key. When HighLevel first came out, it was just a reviews platform, kind of like Podium, but they've scaled and they've got an incredible funnel system. And when we talk about funnels, ClickFunnels always comes to mind, which I was a user of ClickFunnels before leaving there and going to HighLevel. So it captures, nurtures, closes leads automatically. It really is a platform to set appointments, to set scheduling for contractors, for insurance, for mortgage, for real estate, whatever it is. But we know if you're operating a business, whether it's just a small business or even a large business, you can't reply to all those calls and text and everything else right away. So there's features in there like if you have a Google local business listing, if you miss that call, typically before somebody would call somebody else and just go to the next person in the list. That's what I would do personally. But now with Google missed call, basically it sends them a message right away. Hey, I'm on the phone, or da 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 da, and I'm going to get right back to you. So it creates that stall for that person to actually get in and capture that lead. So it really does close more deals. That is truly a fact, because with the automation, with the payments, collecting payments, being able to create these custom workflows, it really does do everything that you need it to do. But you can see why we need a done-for-you product, because if you look at this, these are all the things that HighLevel covers in one low monthly price. So if you purchase ClickFunnels, it'd be $297 a month easily. Pipelines, email marketing like Constant Contact, MailChimp is going to be $100 a month. Where with HighLevel itself, it covers everything in one monthly price. And we'll talk about that pricing. Basically, a $297 a month plan allows unlimited client accounts, unlimited everything. There's nothing that it's going to stop you from. With a $97 a month account, basically you get 3 client accounts. So that's it. It used to be that you just got your agency account and 1 account, and they changed that to 3. So there's always things that HighLevel are doing to make the software better, and I've never seen the price increase, knock on wood. So, or my glass desk here. So it's really something that's incredible. There is a trial here, 14-day. We have a link below for a 30-day free trial because we've been with HighLevel so long. We are able to offer that 30-day trial. So that's a big thing in itself. So you can see right here the different pricing, all tools, capture more. So you get 3 accounts here, 3 sub accounts or client accounts, I call them. Unlimited accounts here. You can integrate your APIs, desktop, custom domains, and we'll show you that, what we're talking about. And there is one more level above this that's called the Pro. And the Pro allows you to white label the software so it doesn't look like HighLevel, and we'll show you that, for $497 and sell it as much as you want. So that's one thing. When they did release that, I was like, Sean, are you sure you want to do this? Because you can make a ton of money and sell this over and over and over, and just keep rolling in the money. So let's talk about the different types of websites as we go into here before we dig in. Okay, let's look at the different types of websites, different platforms that they're built on, because that's been a confusing thing for a lot of industry owners, a lot of developers. They don't know whether to use Wix, Squarespace, WordPress. So let's talk about these platforms. There's a lot of website builders out there. Wix, Squarespace, even GoDaddy took a stab at this, failed, is these website builders. They are basically a builder to create a website easily for a business owner. That's what they were really developed for, and to allow a design, a flexibility. Even Shopify is another platform for your shopping. And it's allowed people to build a website without hiring a developer. When you get into WordPress, you're going to see here on WordPress, it gets a 3.4 because it's really built for a professional developer. So a lot of your websites out there, big corporations, are built with WordPress because they hire a development team. They pay tens of thousands of dollars to have a site developed, and then they pay for them to be maintained and managed. And WordPress is an open source platform, which means it's a free platform, but you have to pay for hosting, and you have to keep the website up to date with updates and for security and different things like that. The good thing about Squarespace, Wix, even HighLevel, and we'll talk about that, is they're good, solid platforms that are really safe and really, I would say, somewhat hack-proof or cyber attack-proof, just depending on the platform that you're using. So with HighLevel, it is an easy to build. Let me just dig into the back end here of HighLevel and show you real quick. So we're in the back end of HighLevel here, and you can build a new website very quickly. So this is just a website builder. We're going to go through this step by step, but we built this site in just in a few minutes. Literally just popped it up, and it's got a nice logo area, schedule an appointment, a call to action, and get a free estimate. And you could even improve that quite a bit. But we'll go through that on how to build these from scratch and how to build it with a template. But it's very similar to Wix, Squarespace, but it's all included in the software. So you can see back here, we can build funnels, websites, blogs. We can even host a WordPress site here. We've got all our forms, surveys, chat widgets, everything that we need to really maximize a website is already in HighLevel. So this is just what we call a client account. This is HVAC 123, just for demonstration purposes. And so the cost of having a WordPress site is obviously going to cost you more because you got to hire a developer to maintain it or somebody that knows WordPress. Where something like this is going to be less money. You're going to pay a monthly fee, but it's going to cost a lot less to do that. Just to talk about the pricing on a few of these different sites, there's a variety of pricing because if you just get the basic Wix or Squarespace, it's not going to include all your SEO and everything that you need to rank the site. And that's the key part. That's why WordPress is so powerful, because typically it'll outrank any website. But with the new platform of HighLevel now, you can actually go into these sites and you can go in and create your SEO. You can create your rich URLs. And if you look at this particular page here, we can go in it and we can save it, and then we can add in our SEO, our meta title, description, and title, our keywords. There's no limit on keywords here. We can add custom tags, which is huge, chronological links, and then we can see what it's going to look like on Google itself. So the snippet is what we would call that. So let's step on to our next. This is a fun one for me in doing this research competitor sites, because I'm going to show you a few secrets that we use in the ranking world on Google to rank #1. And I'm going to show you some proof that we are able to do this. This is a client's website, Weed Control, Montgomery, Alabama. And these guys are #1 right here in the organic listings, Alabama lawns, lawn treatment, weed control. We can search it any way we want, and they're going to rank #1. And they rank #1 for a lot of different things. And you can see they're beating out Yelp. They're beating out Southern Lawns, which is a bigger company. Weedman, they definitely True Green is way down here. So that's a monster corporation. And these guys are sitting in that #1 position. And we're going to show you how that's done and how to do that, because that is going to be the secret to selling this site to somebody for big money. And you can make $1,000 a month easily selling a website like this. So picking an industry or a niche. Let me talk to you a little bit about this. This, as I mentioned, are my two favorite things. So this could be a long video. Grab a pen, grab a paper. Make sure you get your copy of HighLevel below. You get a 30-day free trial. You can start selling that before you even actually pay for it in 30 days. So if you do this right, you can make money before spending money. So as we go through this, when you pick an industry, think of some service industries, because that's where a company like an HVAC company, a roofing company, those are service industries. Plumbing, those are companies that are run as a smaller business sometimes, and they need, even if you go after the big ones, they still need a way to track their calls coming in and scheduling and everything else. Well, with HighLevel, you can automate all that. You can put their schedule in there. They get a notification on their phone while they're driving down the road. to another call and it'll show their availability. So niche is important because you want to pick something that seems a little bit fun for you. And even if it doesn't, you're going to learn a lot. So maybe it's in the concrete business with doing concrete landscaping, hardscaping. But one thing to remember when picking an industry, don't pick an industry that pays uh, little money for each job. So lawn care, some of those lawn care businesses, they come out, they cut and blow your lawn for $50. Now you could do a lead business like that, but you're not going to be able to sell it for those big money compared to, say, a roofing business that gets 10 and 12,000 or 15,000 for doing a roof. So they do a 1-day job or a 2-day job, they make 15 grand versus a lawn care company that's making maybe 100 to 200 each time they come out. So you see where I'm going with this. So when you're picking a niche, you want to go into an area. Let's just pull up a map and kind of look at, let's just say we're going to focus in, I think I picked Columbia, Tennessee today. We're over in Nashville, but we look at competition in a certain way. And so we're going to open up this map, get it big, and kind of zoom out. So we can see here in this particular area, here's Nashville up here. Nashville's going to be big competition. Even around these little areas, you could target these areas, but they're going to be more difficult because the population, the competitiveness, the Google ads, they're posting a lot of Google ads to stay competitive in those areas. And the cost is going to be higher. We see that, we know that. And so if you pick an area, say like Franklin here, as we get further out, the cost goes down, the competition goes down. Columbia, Lewisburg, Shelbyville, these are all great areas to really target. And so when we're talking about selling a site, you could easily sell a roofing site, create a roofing site, and sell one to somebody in Franklin here. If they only service 25 miles around this area here, there's no reason that you could not clone that site and clone it for Murfreesboro and sell another site there. So you see, let's just say we've got $1,000 to rent and rank this site in this particular area. So it's already ranking. You got calls coming in. We're talking about that a little bit later. But now we go to Murfreesboro and we sell another site. So maybe we get 1,000 here, 1,000 here. Down here, maybe a little smaller area, not as much money coming in. So we sell it for $500 or $500 to $800 a month. Columbia, same deal. So you can see where we're going with this. That's almost $4,000 in revenue just in the small area off of one industry, one small industry. So roofing is a good one to do. There's a lot of competition, a lot of roofing marketing companies out there, but you could develop a white label software, kind of like what we did. Ours is called Sproutify here. And if we just go back and get out of this, I can show you ours is labeled Sproutify. So if we rent and rank a site, and you can see we're Sproutify. So we have our own website where we can actually sell our software. And obviously it looks just like it, but we can set up our packages any way we want. So we can sell the software separately, and then we can do a rank and rent website. So the software itself might cost one price because a lot of companies will pay for the software because they'll get their CRM, they'll get all their email marketing, and can even do quotes and estimates and everything. But if they don't want the rent the website anymore, you can pull that away from them and still charge them for the software. So that's one thing to remember that you can do. So when looking at Google and trying to find a industry that you want to target, remember service industries. Now we go after a lot of commercial roofing. So we do that because roofing is a super competitive market, but commercial roofing, there's only a few companies that do that. So when you go after them, they're bigger projects, they're massive roofs, sometimes 20,000 square foot of roofing on there. And so when you're doing something like that, uh, just remember to kind of go after that. But plumbing is a great one. You could even do commercial plumbing, so or commercial HVAC. So it just really depends what you're looking for. But we go into Google and we'll research. So when you look at commercial roofing in Columbia, we can see here that there's a few companies here that are doing commercial roofing. And this particular one here shows houses. So I don't even know if they do commercial, but this one definitely does because that's a commercial roof. Roof systems, possibly, maybe not. But you can see that there's fewer companies. And as we zoom out here, we can even go to more and more companies. But you can scan and see what's going on. So as you're looking down here, you can see Vasquez Roofing doesn't particularly have a website that we can see here. So maybe they have a Google, what we call a landing page, and now they don't. So this would be a good one to go after. They've got a number of reviews, but they could use a lot more reviews. And obviously with HighLevel, that's fully automated, and it'll be in that rentable website where it just ranks and sends out a Google review after they finish a job and complete that job. So if we look at this particular company, we'll look at their profile here. I do not see that they have a website. And so let's just look at some competition here and dig into a little bit of the research. So let's look at first of all, we left off with this roofing company here. So we could copy and paste this. Sometimes they won't have a listing of their website, but if they don't, obviously they need your help because their website should be showing up here. Not only that, in a mobile application, there should be a chat button here, and you can do that with HighLevel. So that is really cool that you can chat and even schedule a estimate with them through this just by using HighLevel and setting up that Google business properly. So if we go in, we'll just open a new tab here, and we're going to copy and paste the name of this company in here and just see if they come up with the website. Well, they don't over here in the Google My Business. They don't. They might have a landing page, and they're using Bird Eye, which is really expensive. They've got Better Business Bureau. They've got Angie's, which is costly for leads. So these guys are obviously getting leads somewhere, but I don't see a website that they have. They have a Facebook with a few reviews there, but they don't have a website. Now, here's something I just found, and we'll see if this comes up as a website. So we're going to copy and paste. I just saw a .com here, but obviously they're not ranking anywheres on and this is how you find and set up a website. So this should have been, let's see, contact us. Let's see where this company is. This company is not even in Colombia. So this is a different company that's not the same company as what we were looking at, but they're coming up under this other company. And so they may have relocated from Michigan. I highly doubt it because they're still, if we zoom out, they're showing up in the Detroit area. So this is probably a WordPress site developed by somebody. But obviously, this company here would be a great target to go after because they don't have a website. They're using expensive software already. They're probably buying leads from Angie's or from Angie. I call it Angie's List still, or one of those builder sites. They probably get inundated with calls. And so we'll come back to this and show you how to sell this to this company in particular. So let's bounce back, and we're going to just type in commercial roofing, and I think we had that up here. And we're going to go to Google, and here's how I look at the competition. I want to see who's ranking number one in the organics. And it's this company here, Village Roofing. And we can beat out Better Business Bureau all day long. So we know that we can get in this number one spot easily. Gaff Roofing is just a lead generator. So our main companies that we will look at is this one here, Roof Systems. But mainly we want to focus in on Village Roofing Company. We want to see what they're doing and how they're ranking and why they're ranked number one. Now, they don't have a .com because a lot of people say, oh, it's in the name. Like, you've got to get a .com to rank. No, they got a .us. So they couldn't get villageroofing.com because it was already taken. So we know that this particular company is using a .us, and they're still ranking. Now, here's some key things to remember and to get keywords from and everything else, and we're going to show you how to put those keywords in. But we can see that the related searches come up: small commercial roofing in Columbia, Tennessee reviews, commercial roofing Columbia, Tennessee costs, best commercial roofing. So those are keywords that you're going to want to use to rank, and those are good things that to find when you're searching in particular for something like this. And not only that, you want to look at the companies that are up here because they're paying big money to be up in the spot. They got to send in a bunch of paperwork, and obviously Google only shows 2 because they can charge a ton of money for the spot. And not only that, this guy here is paying for this ad. And so there's one ad that I see right away. But not only that, there's people that are paying to not be in the number one spot, but they're way the heck down here, and they're still paying for money. So you could go after Yellowhammer Roofing and see if they would want to buy your site if it was ranked 10 spots above them. Do you see where I'm going with this? So research your competition and look at them. So we're going to look at this Village website, and this is a real basic website, and obviously commercial roofing because that's what we see right away. Sheet metal, commercial roofing. So they're 100% focused on commercial roofing. But guess what? We can beat this site out. I know that for a fact because it's built by GoDaddy. It's a GoDaddy website builder. They have a chat button in here. But it's a very basic page. And so what we do is we'll look at click on a few of these pages, and then we'll come to the top and see if there's any SEO popping up. I don't see anything popping up except for the words roofing company, Columbia, Tennessee, big and bold right there. And they might have commercial roofing, Columbia, somewhere in here, commercial roofing contractor. But let's show you a little trick. You can right click with your mouse and analyze this even deeper. So we're going to look at the page source. We're going to view the page source. And these are a few of the things that we're going to look for. Is we see that they have a Twitter description, a meta name. Twitter's a powerful search engine, believe it or not. So they've got commercial roofing up here. They have a title and not a lot of metadata. I don't see any keywords in here in particular. And this is built on a what I call a substandard platform because it's a very cheap, almost free platform. So that's how we go deep into looking at. We look at a few things here. We look at where they're ranked. We always look at the number one position because we want to beat out that number one spot. And so obviously we know this would be a good area to target. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to create a commercial roofing website to rank number one or in those top spots. It's not always guaranteed number one, but I'm going to create that with a good lead deal, with a good review automation, and go after that number one spot. I am not a roofing company. I'm going to talk to you about that and how we go about doing that. So Davis Brothers is another one that popped up. He was Better Business was up here, and you notice we refreshed it, then he popped up here. So when you refresh, just depending on the time of the day, sometimes they flip-flop. See, he went down to number 4 here. So, but this would be another good one to go after. He's commercial residential. He does siding, painting. So he's got obviously a good budget. And we're going to look at the very bottom. We don't see that it's a GoDaddy site. I'm not sure what this site is, but it's definitely somewhat of a pre-built site. And so I'm going to go again and look at what it's built with. And so this particular guy, you can see the title, Commercial Roofing in Tennessee. So that's a big keyword. He's focusing in all of Tennessee with his meta title. His description includes his company name, but not so much that Tennessee part. And if you wanted to rank for Columbia, Tennessee, you could beat him out by just doing commercial roofing Columbia, Tennessee. So this site is, we always look at the platform. This site is built with WordPress. So this WP content right here that I can see right here, themes, he's using the Elementor theme. We can look at the plugins that he's using. So we can look at different things that he's using. So we really study the competition. That's what you do as an agency. That's part of what you bill for as an agency. So I'm teaching you a lot of agency tricks. And then if we click on commercial roofing, up in the top there is commercial roofing, Davis Brothers, and it pops up in the tab as we highlight over that. So those are things that we're looking at. We look at some of the content here, but obviously we're going to beat this competition. I know this business very well. I know what PVC roofing is. I know what the different membranes are. So for me, it's no big deal because I have people in this industry already. And these guys are in Churchill, Tennessee. So let's go back to our map here and type in Churchill, Tennessee. So maybe they are not even, because I've never heard of that area, but maybe it's just a small area. It looks like it's in Hawkins, Tennessee. So they're not even in Columbia. They're all the ways out past Knoxville, way up in here in this little spot here. So they're a good distance from where they're servicing, but obviously they service Columbia. So that's how you research that competition. We could take another one and just to kind of highlight that and how you go after them. So in this particular one, let's just go back and we'll do, let's pick HVAC, which is a big industry. So again, we've got our top people here, 475, 104 here. Just to go back to HighLevel and Sean Clark, his first client was, I think, Aspen Air and somewhere in Oregon. And all they did was reviews for those particular, for that client. And I think that's all he's doing to this date. But obviously, he was charging quite a bit of money just to get them reviews. And then HighLevel obviously expanded. But if you look up Aspen Air in Oregon, they've got a lot of reviews, and that's why, because Sean helped them with the HighLevel software. And but you can see here this one pops out, Hiller, because they have the scheduling button. We can do that with HighLevel, and you can set up their Google My Business, which is in the back of HighLevel, and we're going to show you that. Let me just pop over there real quick. I'll show you that real quick. So under this particular site, client site, is reputation. So you just click on that. And then we don't have any reviews because it's just a demo site. But you can see here we can request reviews by sending a text or an email. We can look at the reviews. We've got different widgets in here so we can manage the customer's Google review back here. And then this is kind of a new thing that they have, and it's listing tools. So one thing to remember with Yext that just went by there, this Yext listing, there's probably over 600 different search engines out there like Google and Bing and all the big ones. But the more real estate that you get on this page, like for a Yelp listing, a Better Business, different things like that, the more you're going to come up. So Home Advisor is another big one out there. But we searched in HVAC Columbia. Hiller's a big company, and they're coming up number one. Not saying that we can't beat them out just because they're a big company, because we have done that with True Green and companies like that. So they don't intimidate me. I just go into their website and look at what they've got, and then really do an in-depth research in beating that competition. And sometimes it'll take creating a blog. So in HighLevel, you can create blogs now. So blogs are very, very powerful. But not only that, you can do what they call Google postings. So if you go to this particular client here, if you manage their account, so profile strength is good, you can add photos, you can add posts, you can edit the profile in here. Once you have management of this, you can create all kinds of different things. And a lot of people don't realize, if you want to beat out the big boys, and these guys rank number one for commercial real estate and mobile, or somewhere in the top, they're number one in the Google My Business, because we did some optimization in there. So for commercial real estate, these guys pop up good. We do Google postings, which come up in this little area down here. And so you can just add a post, create a post. So you can copy this stuff basically with keywords back to their website, and it works very, very well. So that's really how to research your competition and go after the big boys and figure out what's what out there and what to choose, what industry to go after, how to cover the map, because obviously you don't want to cover the big metropolitans like Houston, Los Angeles, New York. You want to go in the outskirts because that's where the low-hanging fruit is. So you want to focus in on those areas first. So let's jump over here, and we're going to start talking about, we already talked about the layout of the websites, the WordPress, how to find those meta tags. So let's go into purchasing domain, where you go to purchase a domain. Okay, we're going to talk about purchasing a domain. Yes, I've used GoDaddy. Everybody's used GoDaddy. They've got domain generators and everything else. There's a lot of different things out there that you can use. But I'm going to show you a site that I use to purchase all my domains now. So if you just type in purchase domain, there's Namecheap, there's GoDaddy, there's Google Domains. Don't use Google Domains. It's hard to get your domain if you need it. I have used Bluehost. Domain.com is out there. And the one that I'm going to refer you to in a link below is a really good one. And you get SSL and everything else included with it. And you don't have to purchase that separately for a costly price through something like GoDaddy. But before you purchase that domain, remember this. Is the social media stuff available for it? Because you don't want to buy a domain and then you realize that you can't do a Twitter, you can't do any of the social media stuff that you want to do with it. So this particular one, this site here called namechecker.com, I'll put a link below. Let me make a note of that. So if you're going to do a domain, let's just use my last name here, or my first name, Jim Parr Roofing, we'll just call it. And we want to search and see if, oops, let's take the .com. We just put it in there, and it'll tell us if the .com is actually available. It'll tell us if the Facebook, the Instagram, whatever else is available with this. So it'll run through a series of checks. It goes to the registrars and checks different things. It'll check YouTube. And then you can see what's available, what's not available for that. So it even goes to Etsy, Blogger. Blogger's a free blogging site. Sometimes it's good to put posts on there, even though it's just a free site. It creates that traffic, creates those backlinks and different things like that. But we can see what the dots are available, like a .us is available. It takes a few minutes. We're not going to sit here and wait for this to check because I'm not buying that particular domain. But we could purchase the domain, but before we do that, you might go on Namechecker and check. You can even purchase domains here, but and it'll tell you, give you prices. Like here's Namecheap. It's $9, $12 at GoDaddy. That's why we don't use GoDaddy, because they're going to add stuff and try to market you. And then they sell your info to overseas, and you get 18 million calls saying, do you need a website for your new domain? So we don't need all that. Domain.com. We're actually going to use a site called NameSilo. So let's go over here and type in NameSilo. And if you use the link below, you get a little bit of a discount. So we're just going to look at this. It's got a who is lookup. So if you want to see who owns a domain that's maybe not registered or doesn't have a site, you can look there and see who owns it. And but here you can purchase domains. Typically the first year is cheap. and then it goes up to like $9 a year. They do have a new SSL add-on, but you can use different SSL software and get that pretty inexpensive. But we could just type in up to par, search that domain. We know it's not going to come up, but because I think somebody else actually owns that. Because we tried to purchase that, and I'm like, who the heck's got the same spelling of my last name? But we can see that we can try to buy it here, a .com or a .net, and then it gives us the prices of the other ones. So let's just put some 123 behind it, and that'll tell you what the cost of that .com is, because that's not going to be taken. So right here, the price per year is $13.95. Yes, it's a little bit more than GoDaddy on this particular one, but we've had a lot of luck with Name Silo. It's very secure. We never had our domains overtaken. We don't get obnoxious calls when we purchase a domain here like we did with GoDaddy. And so it's been a really good software for searching domains. So let's dive into developing the website. We're going to walk through the basics. We're going to have another video, detailed video on how you build the site, but we're going to start building the homepage step by step. We're going to look at the competition. We're going to build something similar to what they've got, and then we're going to show you how to create those client accounts and start selling those. So I know you've been with me a while, and I appreciate that. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up if you like this video, and let's develop the site in the back end of HighLevel. Okay, so we're back into HighLevel here in the dashboard. We're in the agency board of things, so we need to create, I call them client accounts, they call them sub accounts. So we're going to focus in on commercial roofing for Columbia. We know we can get that ranking by the competition out there, that Valsquez roofing. We probably almost guaranteed could sell this to them, or rent it, I should say, rent and rank it. So our goal is to develop it, rank it, and then sell it. So remember that, write that down, or put that in the comment section. Develop it, rank it, and then sell it. That's where the money comes in. So put that in the comment section, just so I know I've got everybody still here. So we're going to create this client account, and it's just as easy as going in and first of all, I'm on sub accounts on the left here, and then create that account. So I'm going to click on this, and it says a SaaS. I am going to create it as a SaaS because I'm a SaaS, but you could create it as a regular account and then just build them as a regular account. Being we're a SaaS, we're going to use that because we can sell them the software, plus we can sell them the ranking website feature of this also. So we don't see anything in here for roofing in these snapshots. These are just pre-made because we're going to use a blank one. We're going to use a blank canvas, teach you how to do this from scratch, and just do it so it looks nice. So we're going to click on this. It's going to ask us, like if I was to put in this particular company here, it actually might find the company if they had a Google listing. See, it does find them under Gardendale Drive in Columbia, Tennessee. So they do have their Google listing. They just don't have a website. So we could click that in if we were focused in on selling it to them. But we're not going to do this. We're going to add this manually. We're going to create a generic name for this. And I'm just going to put in me. and we're just going to add the information in here. And for time's sake, I'm just going to pause you guys and get this information put in. But you need to put in a business name, some generic 123 Dream Street. I would use the city and state that you're going to be targeting and the zip code. And then phone number wise, you could just put in a generic phone number right now. And then time zone. You just have to put in what's starred here. So we'll go ahead and put that in right now and get that information in here so that I'm going to actually leave it rolling. So we're going to put in Columbia TN commercial roofing. And then we're just going to put in 123 Easy Street. That's my favorite thing. And then I'm actually going to use Columbia, Tennessee in this. And we're going to select the US. And I think this is the zip, but you might want to check that. And the area code in this particular area is 931, and we'll just make up a phone number. And then time zone, we're in the East time zone, which is going to be Chicago, and we're going to save that. So now it's going to create that account, and we could add some additional stuff to this if we wanted to. We can rebuild. So once we start selling this, we can put in some additional stuff. Like we can set limits on how much texting they do. We can give them credits, but we could set a limit that with this package, they only get this amount of texting. But it does an email verification status, so you want to put a good email in there. So we're going to go to that account, and by doing that, we're just going to switch to the sub account or that client account and get into the actual dashboard here. So now we're in Columbia, Tennessee commercial roofing, and we're going to go down to sites because that's what we want to do initially. We want to build a site right away and get this thing ranking. So we're going to go into websites. We're not going to build a funnel. We could do a funnel with a domain if we wanted to and create a website, a funnel website. But really the key here is to create a website. So we're going to create a website for commercial roofing. And we're going to create it. And then we're going to look at our competition that was ranked up at the top. Remember that? And we're going to mimic those settings. So we need to add a new page. And we're going to call this home page because it's typically the path. This is a feature if you saw a ClickFunnels site, you could put the URL in and it would copy that page. We're going to create a new page here, and it's going to open up our builder where all our different tools are and different things like that. So we're going to edit this and get into the builder. So first of all, we want to go back to the competition, go into Google. I thought it was interesting. I typed in Columbia, Tennessee commercial roofing, and I've got a different company, Restore Masters LLC, that comes up. And then Davis Brothers and this Village Roofing Company again comes up. So remember, Village Roofing was a very basic page. And I know we can beat them out because we can use the blog feature in HighLevel to add some additional content. But let's just look at this one that popped up again here and see. This is a new one. So this is a landing page. You can see the URL up here. Tennessee, Nashville, Roofing Company, Columbia. So they've got all this rich text in their URL. Commercial roof repair, Roofing Company, Columbia, Tennessee, Nashville. So this is all the different things that they do. And this looks like a WordPress site, possibly. Obviously, do some big commercial roofing stuff. Got a lot of stuff in there, a lot of images, but remember we have AI, and see all these keywords here? This is where things get interesting because all these are commercial buildings in Columbia. That's where all those, you can outrank anybody. They're using a website from agency, and they probably own this website. So that's one complex one here. It's a full width website. And then let's look at the other one. This Davis Brothers consistently comes up. And so this is the one that we're going to look at because we can get a lot of these images. These are probably not owned by Davis Brothers. This would be a good rank and sell website. And so remember, these guys were way, way out. It's got a good call to action, set up an appointment. And let's see where that pops. It probably goes to an appointment page. Not a very good one. It's just it's a contact form, so it's not even that great. But we can do this. So we'll go back to high level. We're going to use some of the same color themes, but we're going to use it with blue. So starting out, we need to pick our width. A full width would be the whole width of that website. So that's a full width website. So that's what we want. We don't want wide, medium, small. I never use any of these. Just use the full width. So we're going to add a row. It's going to be a one column row. And then we're going to create, and if I go too fast, just pause it and go back. So we're going to add in our black. So we did that because this is a column. And we could actually create that color back here. Let's just go back. And so in this section, we could create this whole section and do a background color black. That's probably how you want to do it. And then add our element. An element is like a text element, an image, whatever it is. So we're going here. We want to do this nice little bar up here. So they've got a few little, probably just not even a column or anything, but they've got a phone. They've got their social media up here. So we could put in our phone number, whatever phone number we're going to create, but we're going to create this as a text or a headline element. So we've got different things here. We got maps, navigation, progress bars, and different things like that. So we're going to create that. We've got our headline in there, and we want to create our text. And so the headline's here, but we need to change the color because black on black is not going to work. So you just go over here and click on this. So if it's bold text, it's black right now, but we'll create white. And so we want to put in our phone. So we're going to use a local number, and trust me, we're going to shrink this because it's way too big. And once we order our phone number, we're going to change that. But I want to reduce that text size a little bit. So I'm just going to find my text size real quick. Got the line height. And we'll just go up here. Click on this. We can change the font to over here to a different font if we want to. So we're just going to highlight this, and you can see this bar that comes up, so we can change it to whatever size we want. I think the heading 3 is good. Let's just jump back. Yeah, looks good. We can link those too. So if we want to hyperlink this, all you got to do is hit this button here. And for phone, it's just tell 931 444 5555. They got too many fives? Yep. Okay. And we probably just leave it like this and hit save, and now it's highlighted. So it's a hyperlink, and you can change the color of that hyperlink right here, link. And I would probably keep it white just so it shows up. We can put a little icon in here if we wanted to. But I'm going to justify this to the left so that everything is situated way over here. And we're just going to reduce this a little bit because to me it's just a tad too big. So we'll just bring that down a little bit. Okay, so we're going to add, we actually deleted and created 5 columns in here to make it a little bit easier, because here's a little trick that you can do. You can actually add in a icon in there, like this particular one here. Underneath here, select icon, and then just type in phone. And then it'll give you a little phone deal. So we're going to select this one here. And the icon color we need to change right down here to white. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to add an email. And we're going to use paragraph. So we need to change this color to white. And then the email is just going to be info. And I would use the domain, like whatever domain you're purchasing. We'll just use this one for now. And then we could select an email, do another search, add a little icon in there. And we'll throw that in there. And then we need to go down on the right here, change the icon to a white because it's black right now. Icon color white, there it is. And then the other thing we need to do is add an address. So right now we're just going to say, after we change this color, we're just going to stay Columbia, Tennessee for now. And then we want to add a icon, and I'm just going to put a map. And so we've got this nice little icon, and again, change it to white. Boom, so we've got that. We can put our social media stuff over here. And then we can add little spaces in here too if we want to, just to kind of separate things. So let's just add those in. And then add one here. And we'll bring this one over. And actually I'm going to justify this to the over here so it comes over a little bit more. So that looks good. This bar is a little thick, so just go over on the left after you select that section and then just change these to 0, and that'll bring everything up and minimize that area. So we're just going to hit save, and then we're going to move down to the next section here. So we're going to get into adding the logo, and we're going to show you, we have some other websites that we developed with this where we use a theme and then develop it from there. And I'm going to show you that soon. Let's add this next section and then I'll show you how that's done. So we'll jump in. We're going to add under the blue here, we're going to add a new section here. So we're going to do, this is going to be one column because this is going to be our menu. Let me delete that and change that. I want to add a new section. I need to get the green. So I was having trouble grabbing that because I had 0 pixels here. So you just increase the pixels and then boom. So we need a full width section. We're adding a new section here. And so let's get that going. We're going to add a row. It's going to be a 1 column row, and then we're going to add an element. So we're looking for the navigation because this is going to be our menu. So this is where you can set your settings with your business logo and name, and then your menu items over here. So you can change this around different situations. So you can increase the font size for this. You can add your logo and menu, no logo and menu. We're not gonna, we're gonna leave it logo and menu, but we're gonna get rid of the business name part of it because we don't need that in there. Or we could put business name here because we're gonna switch that eventually and put whoever that we sell this or rent this to. So the logo size is a little bit small, so let's bring that up a little bit. So we can just say 250 by 250, that's too big, by 150, something like that. So the logo will go there. And maybe we could even get an image that says logo here. So we could upload that and put that in there. You could search under, when you go to media, you can select a lot of different, it's got Pixabay and different things like that. And we could just do logo and search Pixabay and see if they have something generic that we can put in here. So let's just grab this for now. And then if we want to increase that, we could. I do see one thing here. I want to push this up a little bit because that's just a little bit too much spacing in my eyes. So same with this. Leave that at 5. And now let's go into the next section here. So they've got a nice big image here. Let me just show you how we can go get an AI image for this. So we're going to create another new section. It's going to be a full width section. We're going to add a row, which is going to be one column for that. And then we're going to add our element, which is going to be an image. So you could do a slider, you could do a video. I do have a video or YouTube on how to put a video in here and actually roll it really cool. So we're going to go ahead and use the AI feature and go find an image. But let me just first show you another feature you can go in with Pixabay. So we did show you the Pixabay, but we're going to create an image using AI. So we're going to create it, and we're going to say we're going to try commercial roof and just see, and we can do a few different variations here. And then we can say, see what it generates for us. It didn't do that one, so we're going to say roof on large building and just see. What we can come up with this. And I may not have the feature turned on for this. I don't think it's going to give me what I want. Sometimes AI can be a little tricky. It's giving me a bunch of sketch stuff. And I am not going to use that. I don't like that. So we'll go ahead and cancel that. And no big deal. We'll just go find an image in Pixabay. So we'll go here, and we're going to go over to a search in Pixabay or Unsplash, and we're just going to say large metal roof. Let's see if roofing gives us anything. Yeah, so we've got a few images here that are popping up. Obviously want to find something that's relevant to what we're looking at here. This one is used quite a bit, but let's just go into Unsplash. Let's see if they've got something better here. This is a pretty good one. That's like a metal. So we're going to grab that one. Yeah, I like that. It's just zoomed in really nice. And we're going to save that. So let me show you, if you don't want to build this from scratch, what you can do. So we're going to go back. And we don't have to go out of this account. We can just use a different website. So it'll build all the pages quickly instead of building it from scratch like we were doing here. And it'll do all your columns and things like this, and I'll show you how this is done. So we're going to go out of here. We're going to select a new website. We're going to use one of the 1,000+ templates here, and we're going to say continue. And then we're just going to roll down and look at the layouts. Now, it doesn't matter what the company is. if the layout looks good, say this tour agency one, just use the layout. If it's because you can always add to it. You're not stuck with what you've got. So we're going to look at a few different ones here. Some of these I like. Some of these are very, very generic. This one's kind of nice here. It's got some sections in it. And we can just go and go and go and look at different layouts here. So I saw one that caught my eye up here, and I can add to it as we go here. And it was this particular one here, or I even like that one, the tire one. But let's look at this tour agency one and see what this looks like. So it's got, we could do the quote here. We can add some columns here. So somewhat generic. Let's just look at a couple of others here real quick. This one looks pretty good. Definitely has all the service areas in there. Let's look at this one. You can kind of see why I like building my own, because I can customize it a little bit better. What's this one look like? So this one's not bad. I'm just going to show you how you can go in and customize this one. So it'll load the template very quickly. And then once it loads the template, you can go in and modify it to exactly what you want. So we grab this deck builder, and you can see it starts with a decent page layout. So it's full width. Then you just go in and add colors to it. This is the easiest way to do this. And then we could create like a little logo here, or we could leave logo here so they know, like if we go after this roofing company, they know they can put their logo in there and know that we can create it. So let's go through this a little bit and edit this particular site. So honestly, I would probably build the main pages out, the contact page, the services. I would leave this out, about us. Or you could have a little thing in there that, hey, we're a lead generator, you can rent this site, you know. So we might do something, redo this. We definitely want to change this image that's in the background here and put something in here that is relevant to roofing. I'm going to grab one of my commercial roofing elements from one of my clients now and drop that in. I'm going to upload that file in here. Okay, we uploaded this image. We're going to drop it in here. Look how nice that looks. So we can save that. Here's the other thing. The data, we know we're going after Columbia. So we can actually add our SEO in here. Commercial roofing, Columbia, Tennessee. Don't copy what I'm doing here. And then we can create a description. Obviously, you want to go in. Remember, we're looking at some of the SEO stuff in here. You want to see what they've got here. Obviously, you can't lie and say we're the top 100 roofing company. but you could go with something, copy and paste, some description like this, and then obviously we're not, we just want to do commercial roofing. You're not going to copy this. In Columbia, Tennessee, is providing businesses, because we're going after commercial, with exceptions in roofing services. So I would change that a little bit. We could put in obviously the commercial roofing keyword would be commercial roofing Columbia, and just comma in between. But that gives us, starts building that snippet. So we haven't put our domain in here yet, but it gives us, starts building that snippet for Google. And then when we get ready to push this live, we can push it live. We're going to update the SEO on this, and we're going to save it up here. But another place you can go, you could create a logo and drop that in, is Canva. So Canva, we could just type in roofing logo, and it'll come up with different things that you can grab here. Now, you could grab anything with this little crown. Pro is means you got to pay extra for the Pro version of Canva. But you can go in here and grab a nice, like that's kind of a cool logo, and create a logo, bring it in, and call it whatever you want. So all you're doing is ranking the site. You could leave it logo here, rank the site, and then people are going to be like, who are you, or who is this, you know? So one thing I didn't show you, this is very mobile friendly. So the site, just by clicking the phone to this, one thing I would do here is in this background where there's white on white, just create a shaded deal here. You could create some transparency, kind of like that, make that pop. And we might want to do something similar with the headline, like this is roofing done the right way. And you could say your trusted company, or trusted commercial roofing company. So you could start doing things like that. Request a free estimate. We got that there. I would change this up here to not a book now, but request estimate, because that's the big word in roofing. And you can see this is already coming together. And then obviously, let's just do a quick peek at it. We'll click this little eye up here, and you can see it's already starting to pop. And probably put a shade behind this. We could shade the image so the text pops out a little bit better. Create some transparency there. But that's how you build these sites. Create the information, put in a phone number, have that phone number relay to you so that you can actually take requests, you know. And then once you get a few requests, that's what we're going to talk about, is how to develop and sell these. Okay, here's where the fun starts. We talked about developing the site, creating the client accounts to sell. That's where the money comes in. And then cloning the website to easily resell to another roofing company in the area. We talked about that in the maps. So if they don't cover a wide area, you can go to another city and sell that same website, or rent it and rank it. So let's jump over to what we're talking about here. So we developed the site and now we want to sell it. So how are we going to sell that? Here's some key points here: rent, rank, and sell. So remember that, hit that in the comment section: rent, rank, and sell. Uh, so if I know I'm still got you going. And so we're going to get estimates. So all we're going to do is take a phone call. We're going to get an address, get a little information about that company. And if it comes in on the phone, that's great. But we're going to use the WordPress, or not the WordPress, the HighLevel uh, automation to get those requests coming in. Because when we sell this, we want to do the same thing for those companies and getting them their requests coming in from this website. Obviously, if it's ranking, they're going to get requests, they're going to get phone calls, and everything else above and beyond. So that's our goal, is to focus in on that. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to build this, but imagine if you took a little bit of time, build this site, and then you rent and rank it for $1,000 a month. That's 12 grand a month, or 12 grand a year. So if you've got 5 of these websites, you're doing 5 times that. So that's 5 grand a month. And there's no end to this. If you just want to go after the commercial roofing industry, you can do that and create a little niche with that. So we'll have the requests come in. Say we get 2 requests right away off of our new website. That's when you contact this company that we were talking about earlier. We contact them because they don't have a website. We say, we have a website, we're going to rent it to you. It's already ranking. If you type in commercial roofing in Columbia, we're ranked number 1 already. And we're going to give you this website. And just out of kindness, we're going to give you 2 free leads right away. That these are people requesting your services right today. So we add this resource, or we just give them those 2 leads and we say, hey, if you want this site, go to this website. If you want it, we will sell it to you. You don't change the domain on this thing. You leave it alone. You leave the site alone. You put the logo in. You don't change the verbiage because you don't want to customize it. It's no different than renting a house. You can't go in, rent a house, and start ripping walls out and changing the colors and doing different things like that. You're keeping the site the way it is. If they want maybe a little about section about them, or add in some reviews for them, you can do that because the software will automatically do that and push the reviews in there. You can do that to create some credibility, but the site already does well. It ranks number 1 or ranks at the very top, and it's already bringing in leads for estimates. That's the key right there. And so you sell it to them, and you give leads. Say you get 6 leads, you call 3 different companies and say, I got a website that you can rent that's already ranking, and I'm going to give you these leads. You call them, you tell me if they're legit, if you like what you saw and you got a job out of this, then contact me back and I'll give you more information on how you can do this. So in Sproutify, that's the key here, is once you develop that strategy to sell these to a particular client here, You can easily clone these, but I want to show you how you can set up payments first with this. So in this particular software, you have a payment section. And so we can create in the agency, we have to go out, switch to agency. And we go to our agency account. And we're going to create so we've got, this is us here, our agency. So we click on payments. We're going to create a product, and we're going to call this not an invoice. We're going to create a product, and it's going to be commercial roofing website. Well, you can call it whatever you want. We'll just call it that for now. We set the price. This is going to be a reoccurring deal every single month. So we're going to set this at $1,000, whatever you want. It's monthly. There's no trial period. Number of payments, leave blank. If you want to set up a setup fee, say you have $1,000 setup fee to put in their logo and things like that, you can add that in, or you could just say, I'm just going to do it $1,000, but you're going to save this. And I probably would set this as Columbia only because we're going to resell this to more than one region. So now I can go back to payments. Okay, now we just go into sites because we created that product. We're going to create a new funnel. It's going to be a really basic, I'm just going to call it roofing rental. Roofing rank and rental. I keep hammering that, so I'll put that in payment page. We're going to create it. This is the strength of HighLevel here. I haven't even showed you any of the automation, but we're going to add a new step. Just going to call it payment. We're going to create this step. Can do a thank you step too, just to thank them. We're going to create from blank. We'll do a full width. I always like that. It's going to be one row. We're going to add our checkout. So this is going to be our 1 or 2 step order form. We're going to do a 1-step order form. I like doing 1 step. So a couple housekeeping things. We're not shipping a product, so you could change that verbiage if you wanted to, just to put order info is a better name for it. And to be honest, you can actually shut off the shipping part of this. You could enable terms and conditions if you had a no refund type policy. And let's just say show shipping, hide shipping. See, now it's just that. So we're going to save this. I'm going to go back. We're going to get into the main funnel here. And now we just go to products. We're in this funnel step. We're going to add our product, which is commercial roofing website. And it's right there. And we're going to save this. It's a recurring $1,000 a month. And now if we want to look at this and see what it looks like, just go to our overview, open this up. So you see, remember we did a $1,000 setup fee, $1,000 per month. The $1,000 setup fee was a one-time fee, so that'll do that. And then you could do a discount code, like a coupon code for a free setup, and give them a $1,000 discount. That would encourage them, or $500 off, which would be really nice. So you can create those coupon codes in the back of HighLevel and under coupons here. So we could say, just hit new, create a, whoops, we want to be in coupons, create new code. And we could just call it 500 off. Copy and paste this in. The coupon code, we need to generate the code, so you could just click generate. And this is a one-time fixed coupon. So they limit total number of times it can be redeemed once. And the discount offer is 500. And we'll just select a start date of today, and then we'll create it. So if you go back into this, we should be able to put this in. I might have to refresh it. I didn't even have to refresh it. I gave them $500 off. So those are good selling tactics to offer $500 off that first month. So they're going to pay $1,500 right away to get that going. So that's how the payment works, how you sell this thing. And obviously, that's where the fun starts happening. Let's add a chat widget to this and talk about the phone number for this. Okay, so we're going to add the chat widget in. Super, super simple. Just takes a few minutes. So we're going to go over to our sites on the left side. We're in this particular, we got to go into, back into Columbia, Tennessee, commercial roofing. So we'll go over to websites and over to chat widget. So we can customize the colors of this any way we want. So SMS or email, we've got live chat. This is live chat, real time. So this works just like this. That's a brand new feature, which is super awesome. That just came out days ago. So you can change this. Request an estimate. And then we can say, enter a question below for, and one of our roofing experts will get right back to you. So you can see, you can add the email field in there. You can shut it off, whatever you want to do. If you want black, let's go black. And we just hit done. So then we've got, it kind of matches the website. And you can even change this image to put in somebody else, yourself, whatever you want. So let's go to the website that we built. And I think we were working on this particular one. We got it looking nice and good. So we're going to go under settings and right down here, enable chat, save it. And we're going to look at the website, see if it activated. Boom. It's coming in. There it is. And it's black, just like we said. So, hello. I need an estimate today. Hit send. It says powered by Sproutify. Now, if we go back in, we can look at what it would look like to switch that to basically live chat. Just hit save. See if that conversation came in over in conversations here. There it is. Hello, I need an estimate today. Bam, there it is. So we see that he came in through the chat widget. If I came in through the website in a particular page, it would show all those details. So let's go back over here. I'm going to refresh this. And now it's becoming a chat widget. So enter the question below for one of our roofing experts. Can I get an estimate today? Give us a few minutes to assign to a person, help you out. Boom. So those come in to all our conversations. So you can start seeing these things come in. Then you can set up a calendar, have those appointments come in the calendar and the different opportunities. But this is things that you want to set up on the back end. We can set up an automation for chat. So create a workflow. There's going to be one that's already set up. There's one for missed call text back for your Google business. So if somebody calls, it'll text them back, hey, I'll get right back to you if they're calling through the Google My Business. See? Notify user, auto respond, Google Business messaging. Send review requests. Workflow sends a review request. So the chat widget is somewhere in here. I actually don't see it anymore, but some of this has changed. So we just create a new workflow. And this one is going to be send live chat message. So then we can create that flow and create the settings. I like duplicates. I like to set on a certain time. But this is where the power comes in. So we're going to do what they call reply. So you could create a new opportunity to that particular person, or you could even create basically a reply if somebody comes in and set that up so that you know when somebody comes in on a live chat, it goes right to your phone. So those are the powers of having this in your system. Looks like somebody's responding to them right away. People like immediate gratification in sales. Yeah, we need a new phone number now. So we've got our website. We don't have a phone number. We should post it real strong up here in the top and have it so that we can get back to the person. So all you're going to do is go down to settings here. You are going to have to, if you're doing texting, you're going to have to set up this phone number. You can set it up under your agency, under the Trusted Center. That's the new thing with texting. So if you're going to do a text back, you got to have that. So, but we're just going to add a new phone number. It's going to go United States. We're going to do a filter. We want to search by digit. So in this particular area, the area code is 931. And then we can find a phone number that is fitting for that area. It didn't come up for some reason. We want the first part to pull up, that's why. It was pulling up 931. So there we go. It's got 931 numbers. It's $1.15 a month, no big deal. Find a phone number that looks appealing. Sometimes you could get like a 6400 number or something like that. Might be a couple bucks more, but you can refresh results just by this and it'll put up some new numbers. And then this one looks pretty good, 3727. So some good phone numbers here. And then you just select one, hit proceed to buy. I'm not going to buy this. And then you start using that phone number. Once you have that phone number, you create the phone number here will be here. This one is verified. So this is the new A2P compliance to cut down on spam calls, which has never happened. And then the forwarding number goes to there. And then the key here is under your business profile, you want to set up a custom voicemail. This particular one, you can play it.
Hey, it's Up to Par Marketing. For all your AI and digital marketing needs, leave us a message and we'll get right back to you.
There you go. So you can create this, record this, upload a WP3 file or a WAV file. When that call comes in, you can set up a whisper. You can do a missed call text back, just like in this section here. You can do a whisper on that where it says who's calling. Like, let's go back to the phone number in the edit section, and I'll show you how this works. So we just go to edit configuration. And so whenever I get a call from that particular number, and my number's 909-5700, easy to remember, it'll say call from Up to Par agency. So we know that that call is coming in from there and we can answer it accordingly. So if you got a roofing company, you can answer it such and such roofing or Up to Par roofing or whatever. Call it whatever you want. Your EIN could be your marketing company because you're running it under your marketing company. So when you go to fill out your A2P compliance, I have a video on my YouTube for that because it can be difficult and frustrating, but you can see how to do that. Okay, we kind of briefed over this in the beginning, how to find clients quickly, how to charge for these sites. So one thing I'm going to say, when you purchase a domain, it's a nominal cost. It's like $10 to $15 a year. So don't charge for a domain. Don't have your clients find a domain and transfer a domain. Don't do all that. You own the site. You control the site. No different than paying the taxes on a property that you're renting. You don't transfer that over. You do transfer the utilities, but that's not something that can't be pulled back. So you control the domain, you control the site, you control everything that you can shut down. So one thing to remember with some of these sites, you have, when you put in a particular individual, like let's go to staffing. If you add a particular individual in here, you can set their permissions on what they can control and what they can't control in their software. So if you don't want them to control invoicing and payment and stuff like that within their dashboard, just shut it off. If they're not running AdWords or anything like that, because you're probably going to do that for them, shut it off. Just give them the basics, what they need to get the leads that come in and respond to those leads and schedule those leads. The automations, shut them off. because you don't want them screwing up the automations or any of the triggers or anything like that. Of course, they're going to be able to see their appointments. You don't want them messing with the funnels, messing with the website, none of that. So just remember that when you're setting that up, because you're going to put that individual in this information here and put them into that software. So let's talk about how we go after those clients and we find them. We're just going to review. We already reviewed the industry, how you find your niche. But let's just go after commercial roofing in general. Everything in my area is going to start popping up. So we're in near the Columbia area. So we can look at, obviously, Google local listings is going to be the key here. So we already found one company that we researched that did not have a website. The other thing is we're going to look at the number of reviews that these particular companies have. Obviously, the more reviews, the more business they can get. So if they've got poor reviews, the further you get down here, the further it gets. Here's Rankly Roofing. That'd be a good one to go after because they only have 22 reviews. Here's another one, T&L Roofing. Smaller company. They've got a website, but you still can sell this website or rent this website because obviously they're not ranking anywhere on the Google when we did the Google search. Quality Roofing, only 9 reviews. Another one, good one to go after. They could have a booking link here. They could have a directions link here if they wanted that, likely not. But as you can see here, the further we go down, the more opportunities we have. And as we showed you, we can go after these big guys. They might want some more leads coming in, and they may pay for the site. It doesn't matter whether they got 400 reviews. They want to capitalize on as much business as they can to keep their workers busy. So I looked at this area, Columbia. Just in this particular area, I would go after Columbia. I would go after some of these outlying areas. I would just circle around Nashville, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and just focus in on finding those areas. And then I would just move west, east, west, south, north, whatever. Let's go over to Memphis and again start circling around this area. But you want to create the website, you want to rank it, and then you want to rent it. Again, put that in the comment section, hit that thumbs up video, or thumbs up, hit that subscribe if you want my other videos. So any questions you have, leave them in the comment section because I'll respond to them, and other people would like to see that. But this is really how to find your different areas to go after. This is a great area here, Birmingham. We have some commercial contractors down here. We don't have any roofing, but we could go after roofing. This would be a good area right here. And I believe that would be Tuscaloosa, I think, if we zoom in. And it is Tuscaloosa, Cottondale. We've got some car dealerships over there. But anyways, just zoom out, focus in. There's so much business to get out there. And it's just think of creating a white label software. If you start getting roofing companies, why not create a white label software just for those particular companies so that you can start capitalizing on that particular industry? So you basically create leads for that industry. And one other thing is, here's the launch pad. You're going to go through this with that new client that you put on board and kind of connect them on for rental. And but you don't have to do a lot of that because you're going to be managing 99% of things. That's why they're paying the rental fee. So you'll just continue to rank that site. If you're starting to slide a little bit on rankings, create some blogs. Again, you can do that in HighLevel now, and they rank very, very well, and you can add SEO to those. And you want to use those keywords for the titles. That's how you rank blogs. And then in the Google My Business or Google Local Business, create those blog posts. So if the particular company does not have a Google listing, or if they have one and it doesn't rank in this top, if it's way, way, way down here, because you want to be in the top here, because obviously this is where the business comes in. And I guarantee you these guys don't have a website because this is where their business is coming in from this Google My Business. But you could offer a fee. I don't know how these guys got number one in this spot, but they obviously have something in their Google My Business doing that. But you could offer an additional upsell to manage their Google My Business for $100 or $50, $100 a month, I would say at least, up to $300 a month, and manage the reviews, manage the responses, because you can automate that in HighLevel. And not only that, connect the website, optimize this listing. So there's lots of different things that you can do. But enough with that. Let's dive into how you rank your websites. So the first thing that I do is I look for, in particular, the industry that you're going to go into. So in this particular one, we've got commercial roofing, Columbia, Tennessee. That's what we're going to be focusing on, is that area of Tennessee. So we typed in Columbia, Tennessee commercial roofing. You could do this, flip this, and that's really what I recommend is if you're looking in a particular area, go with the city on the back end of the keyword or the keyword phrase. So I like to look in maps. And one thing that we always do is we don't focus in on the huge metropolitan areas because the competition is steep. It's not that we can't rank there, but it's going to take more time to rank in a metropolitan like Nashville versus an area like this area, Murfreesboro or Franklin, some of these outskirts. So this is outside of Nashville, 30 minutes. So there's a lot of competition, but not as steep, not as difficult to rank. So in this particular one, we look at, the guys that are ranking here. We can see right away that we have this company right here, Velasquez, I think that's how you say it, roofing. They don't have a website. We know they don't have a website because of this, but also we did an in-depth research to look at them. So in my personal opinion, I would say these guys would be a good one to go after. Probably all their business, if I go back here a little bit, is probably coming from their Google local listing itself. And let me just back up here. And I say that because they're sitting right here in it looks like number 4. Typically, there's only 2 spots here, but they're showing up in this area. But if you could generate some leads, and real true leads in commercial roofing like big ones, I guarantee that you could go to this company and sell them a website. And that's the beauty, is if you can beat out these guys right here in the top and not only have this company here in the local listing, but also in the organic listing in multiple cities around Columbia or wherever they cover, you're going to benefit from that because you're just going to see big money, because these commercial roofing jobs are big money. They're, $20,000 plus jobs. So if you can get them 2 of those, Do you think they're going to pay you $1,000 a month? Absolutely. So that's why we look at what's going on. We do a little bit of research here. We see what's going on. We look at this meta description, which is here. This is called a Google snippet. So we look at the meta description, and then we look at their title. So this is just Village Roofing Company. And I'm a little surprised that this company here is actually ranking, but it says a suspicious website in the software that I'm using. So they might have a bunch of embedded keywords in here. But these guys are legit. They're running a real title here, a little bit of a long title, but it doesn't matter. They're still ranking. And then from there, it goes into your Yelps, your Better Business Bureaus, and then a few contractors from there. So I bet any of these, if you, and especially on the second page, which as you scroll down further, that's kind of the second page now in the new Google profiles. So if you went after some of these other companies down here, likely you're going to get them and be able to start selling them leads. So one thing to remember, like these guys paying for these Google guaranteed ads, they have to file paperwork for these. They pay a lot of money for those. And they only show 2 in here because you got to pay to get the best ranking. And then if you click on these, and it may or may not show, it doesn't show any more roofers. So sometimes it'll show more, but these guys are obviously willing to pay. And this Bone Dry Roofing here, they're going to pay for those leads. So the goal here is to rank a website, get it in that #1 position, like we did with these guys. If you type in weed control Montgomery, Alabama, this is one of our clients sitting at #1 right here. So they pay for that website. They don't rent it. We built it for them. But that doesn't mean that you can't rent a website to somebody and get it ranked. And if you look at my other 2-hour video about this, you can see on how to build the website and detailed step-by-step. And I'll leave a link above for this video. So click on that if you'd like. So let's go in and start figuring out how to do this. So we're going to use AI. So we're going to use ChatGPT, and we're going to go in. We're using 3.5 for this. And our prompt for ChatGPT is going to be, it's going to be write a meta title and description. You could say meta description if you wanted, but ChatGPT is not that stupid. So with keywords to rank on Google for commercial roofing in Columbia. So that's what we're going to say here. And it's going to spit out a meta title for us. As I said, it knows what you're talking about. Top quality commercial roofing services in Columbia, Tennessee, expert roofers. It's a little bit long. You may need this, but you may not. Discover reliable commercial roofing solutions. We just got this in just by using a prompt in a few seconds here, and boom, it's there. Trust us for durable roofs. Contact us today. And so it gives you that information there. So that to me is pretty good. You could ask it for some keywords in commercial roofing and see what it does. Or we could go to a particular software that we've got, and we built a software where we have all our prompts in that we use on a regular basis. So we could conduct a keyword research and then use the prompt. So here's one right here. What are some popular search terms related to commercial roofing that I should be targeting in my SEO strategy? So we can copy and paste this into our ChatGPT, and then basically where these brackets are, the topic is so we're going to type in commercial roofing. that we should be targeting. So here it is. It's spitting out our keywords. And if we hit enter again, we could get some more keywords, but these are pretty good. I know this industry pretty well, being I have clients in it. So roof repair for businesses, flat roof repair, metal roof repair isn't in here, but flat metal roof, affordable roof repairs, I would use commercial. You don't want, if you don't want residential, make sure you have the word commercial in there. Commercial roofing contractors near me. So I would change these, a few of these chat GPTs, just trying to come up with some better ideas. Okay, so we got all our keywords, we got our meta title, we got our meta description. So now what are we going to do with all of this? So this is where the ranking comes into play. So we look at our competition, but let's go over to our website. So we're in Sproutify, which is our high-level platform. And with this, we're going to go into our sites on the left here. And you can build multiple sites with this. If you want 200 sites in this account for just commercial roofing, you can. But we're just going to build this as one platform that we can rent out to somebody for $1,000 a month. And then we can clone this and then sell it to another area of Tennessee or Texas or wherever we want to go. It doesn't matter. There's no holds barred here. So we started creating this under this deck building platform. It was just a layout that was for deck builders. And yesterday we started laying out, and you'll see in that video, if you go back to my videos, there's a 2-hour video on this layout and step by step on everything about it. So we go in here and we click on edit, and basically we're going to create 4 to 6 pages on these rental sites. That's all you need, because really the key for the getting keyword research and everything and getting the ranking is going to happen on the back end of this by creating some blogs and stuff. But we want this homepage to search. So some of this content would be in here. We're going to look at our keywords that we just got from our AI, commercial Tennessee roofing contractors. One of them, like this commercial roofing contractors near me, would be a good keyword to put into your information here. But it's going to look too obvious to do that. So your trusted, this is what we call a heading here. So you can see headline over here. So it's like what they would consider an H1 in the SEO world. So commercial roofing, Columbia, Tennessee. That's what your trusted commercial roofing, Columbia, Tennessee company or something like that. So we've got this keyword in here in the title. That's the really important part. And then you're going to look at some other commercial roofing companies. We were using, this actually, here's one of my clients, commercial roofing, and he's sitting at number 1 here. He has 2 sites, Kirkman Commercial Roofs, and we have Kirkman Commercial Roofing too. So he ranks in multiple spots. Here he is, Kirkman Commercial Roofing. So he's got more than 1 spot. He's got the local, he's got 2 organic spots, 4 organic spots, I should say. So just to let you know, this is, I'm not just giving you fluff here. This works very, very well. So when it comes to commercial roofing, you want to look at some different sites here. And we're in Columbia here. We're focusing on this particular website. So we're going to look at, these guys are always ranking number 1. All they have is Village Roofing Company. They have very little SEO in their website, but they continue to rank. And so they're based out of Pulaski, I guess, Tennessee. And this is a very cheesy site. Not cheesy that they're not ranked number one, but it's just not very appealing. And it was built in GoDaddy, so with the GoDaddy builder. But they have some keywords in here. And as I was showing on my video yesterday, we can look at the page source and see what they're doing here. And they've got in their meta name, meta description, they've got a few different things in here. So we're going to go in first and we're going to add our SEO information in here and get that done and added. So we're going to save this because we just did that change, and this will open up on the side here. So it's our SEO data. So we have commercial roofing, Columbia, Tennessee as our title. You can make that a longer title if you wanted, because we did from ChatGPT, we got this nice thing here to actually copy and paste this in. Top quality commercial roofing services. And we asked the AI to give us something that would rank on Google for commercial roofing. So obviously it knows how to do that. So we can paste that in there. I don't know if they're searching commercial roofing services, but let me just show you a little trick that when you start putting in commercial roofing and typing it into Google, they're going to give you the top keywords that people are searching. So the top keywords that people are searching is commercial roofing companies near me, commercial roofing contractors, commercial roofing in general. So maybe it should be commercial roofing contractors. The commercial roofing near me, that or companies, that would be a good one too. But contractors is used more than once. That's why I keep going to this one. So Google is going to give you the best searches in as you start typing this in. If we type in services, that is really not the best keyword, because otherwise that would be in these top spots here. So I might change this to commercial roofing contractors where they had services, and make sure you type it in there right. So we have commercial roofing contractors. We'll put it in here too in the meta. In Columbia, Tennessee has been providing businesses with exceptional with quality roofing. Let's just do that. Quality commercial roofing. We want to be services, call us today. So you can be too long on the meta description. It's not going to all show if you get too long. It's showing in the snippet right here. This is an SEO preview of what it would look like on Google. We haven't added our domain in there, but it'll be whatever domain we drop in there. Now, keywords here, we can add as many keywords as we want. Keywords are not as strong as they used to be in the Google Analytics anymore, but they're still important. And tags can be more important than keywords. But remember, we had all these keywords that that were given to us here. So commercial roofing services, we can copy and paste these over. You just want to make sure that you put a comma between each one of them, because if you do it as just copy and paste that all in there, Google is not going to understand that those are separate keywords. Professional commercial roof installation, I'm not sure that is a good one, but I'm going to add the word commercial because that's what we want to focus in on. Now remember this, going after the commercial guys is bigger money, so they're more apt to pay for $1,000 a month, even the roofing companies will pay that, because one roof residential job will pay that definitely. So Tennessee commercial roofers, this is just a little bit a twist to the other keyword that was in there. And so we're going to add that in there. We're going to add in, I do like this one, the roofing contractors near me, because those were, but if they're a commercial, again, the commercial companies hate getting the residential leads because it just bothers them. I'm not sure why, but it just wastes their time because they don't want those. So just remember that when you're working with those. Affordable. This affordable is a good word. I've got a list of power keywords, and affordable is one of those. If you want those power keywords for any industry, let me know, but they're power words. I don't typically put anything in the author, but these custom meta tags are really good to have. So you can put those in, basically a keyword, commercial roof, and what these do is they add to your snippet that Google sees. And typically is what I do. I just duplicate this for the content and click add. So you can just put in this in particular, you can add in more than one. So you can put commercial roofing, Columbia. You definitely want the key primary keyword from that page in there, and get that one in there for sure. So I'm not sure if it's going to let me add more than one. Yes, it does. So you've got to duplicate the content in the meta tag, custom tag. So that helps there. And so we've got, this is our snippet. That's the way it looks. And then we can just go down here at the bottom and update our SEO. Obviously, you want to make sure you save everything every time you do this. Now let's look at a website. What's key here in making this rank? A good logo is nice to have, but these are called subtitles, and I would do something like about our commercial roofing services, and then just grab some content. Just go into AI and say, give me one paragraph, write one short paragraph. I'm not a typer, so bear with me. On commercial roofing for Google ranking. I might have done that backwards. Let's see what it says here. So it gave us, that's exactly what I wanted. So I don't need all that, but trust our experienced commercial roofers. And here is where you can put in, it's already grabbed, it knows that we're focused in on, it's pulling from everything that we've done. That's the beauty of ChatGPT. We're working with commercial roofing in Columbia, Tennessee, so it knows to add that keyword in. But we could go in here and copy and paste this, and then just bring this over. This is how easy it is to do this. So, bam, we've got that in there. The other thing is to go over to, you can either use it on the back end, and so we could go into this image and change this. Let me just scroll this down a little bit here. So we'll go into our settings and we'll look at this image here, but we could go into, we could create an image using AI, I haven't been successful finding commercial roofing for that, but we can go into the media library, and in HighLevel, you can use uh, Unsplash and Pixabay, which are royalty-free services, and we can just go in here and search for roofing, and some of these are relevant and some of them are just not. So obviously this is not to what we're looking for. So let's look in Unsplash. So you've got some here, some here. Not impressed with what I see here, but I definitely could use this image right here. So I'm going to grab this image, bring it over. Bam, that looks good. And also it's got the length of our description in there. So far we have keywords up here. We have SEO data in the back end. And then we have some SEO into our description over here. So these are everything that's going to help this page rank on Google. So we would just go down, we would finish this out. In the commercial roofing industry, they've got different things. I can kind of show you here. I'll pull up a site of one of my clients and just pull him up, and we'll go into his site and we'll show you some of the services that he offers. So he does residential and commercial, but these are different systems that they use. Rubber roofs, EPDMs, it's like a membrane that they use, metal roofs. So they use a plethora of different things. Here you go, flat roof systems. So I would take this information if you're working on this particular industry and put it in here with some good images or even just the systems in there. So you don't have to have images. Obviously, you're not going to have any Google reviews, but you could do FAQs for commercial roofing, and you could go into ChatGPT and just tell it to write me some FAQs for commercial roofing. I guess you could say customers. So it's going to throw out, see that TPO and the PVC, the metal roofing, asphalt. It's grabbing everything that you would never know. Can you assist in insurance claims for commercial roof damage? Absolutely. And they do. So these are all relevant. So you could put in, grab these FAQs. Let's just grab one of these. It's got the question and answer. And then we can go in here and get rid of this. And this is an FAQ. So typically your question goes there and your answer goes there. So if you're somebody building a website, you don't have to have experience in commercial roofing, plumbing, HVAC. Use AI to answer the questions for you. So, and then once to get a logo for the site, I'm just going to show you where I go. I jump over to Canva, and then I go in here and I'll type in something for a logo, and I want a roofing logo. So come up with a name. We have a brand called Up to Par. So I might call it Up to Par Roofing. Grab something like this. Being it's commercial, you could ask it for a commercial roofing logo. And Canva's free. They do have a paid program, the Canva Pro, which we do use. But you could grab any of this. So I think something very simple like this is appealing to me without the chimney. Just being we're in the commercial aspect, this would even be better. So I would go with this minimalist. We could just go here. We're going to customize it. I'd probably get rid of that black background, but and just do white. So I would go here. We just want a white background. So document color. We're just gonna bring it over to the triple Fs, and then in here we could say up to par, and then we could leave it like that. And so what I would do is I'm trying to change this font color real quick, and I got some plugin that's stopping me from doing that for some reason. But I'm gonna change that to black. Let's see. And that didn't work. I apologize here. So anyways, you get the idea. You can just click on it and change the color. But it's just not letting me do that right now. There it is. And then I would take and add some, I like this text, is one of my favorites. And so you could even take this as just the logo and just add this in and say add as new. And then take this and actually create the logo and just say up to par and get rid of this. Slide this over. And that's an outstanding logo to me. We just need to bring this bar down here, and then just go up here and download it and bring it in. So up to par commercial roofing. Let's do that real quick. Let's bring it into our, call it a roofing logo. Let me just pause this. I'll bring it over real quick. So we brought our logo in here. I would do some tweaking. I would take out this background and make the logo a little bit bigger. You can do that just by going down here and just doing this at 250 like so. But I want all the space. So we've got some background in there that we'd have to tweak a little bit. No big deal. We can just use Photoshop or something like that. So that is really the basics of covering the SEO and getting this thing to rank. Obviously, it's going to take maybe a couple weeks to get this up. If you want to speed that process up, you can go into HighLevel, and there's a couple of things that you can do here. So you can go into HighLevel and create a blog. So what you would want to do is create blogs on that particular keyword that you used, and that was commercial roofing in Columbia, Tennessee. But under here, we've got under sites, and we're right in the websites here, is something new called blogs. So we could go in here and create a blog for that site. And obviously, we want to use the commercial roofing. Well, we could actually take this title that it gave us and tweak this a little bit. Top quality roofing services. And go back into HighLevel and copy and paste this in. You can add an image in here if you want. The only thing I would say is let's change there was something I didn't like. Change this to contractors, being that was the keyword that most people are searching for. And then you come in here and you're going to add a short description. So that could be this right here, which is the meta description. And then we can come down, and I think we're a little bit too long, so we'll take out some of this. And then we'll go ahead and post this. Let's see what, oh, I need to change the image. So I need to add an image, because you always want to add an image into a blog post. And then our alt text is just going to be our primary keyword here for that we're trying to use. And I'll remove that comma in here just because alt tags don't like that. So there we go. Starting to create it. Now we can go in here and obviously create a powerful blog here. So just remember on this, you can go into ChatGPT and tell it to give you the ultimate guide to roofing experts or something like that. And so we can just say, write a powerful Google ranking blog. I like to throw all that in there on the topic commercial roofing contractors in Columbia, TN. It'll know to capitalize that and everything. So starting to create that right now, unveiling the go-to guide for commercial, and it's just throwing it out there. Powerful testimonials. And so it's got good keywords here, commercial roofing contractors. So we would take this into this and add it in there. Basically take all this stuff out. All they're doing is giving you a format to build your blog and showing you the best format to get the most rankings. They show a YouTube video. YouTube videos and blogs is very, very powerful. But then they'll tell you some checklists here. So that's the way that you do this. Remember, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. If you use my link for an affiliate link for HighLevel, I will work with you. But I get notification when you do. So if you don't, I wish you the best of luck. I've got a ton of videos. I got 6-hour videos. I got 2-hour videos on YouTube, 1.5 hour. I do have a masterclass, but that's for all my affiliates. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.